up, Panthers Nation? I am back today with another video. This one is the Panthers versus the Bills. I am making up for this video for the week that I was not able to do so. I had technical issues and I had a head cold as well. So, let's get into it. The day of the game, I told many of you that I was at a concert, so I was only able to see the second half of the game on a replay. And I don't remember what channel it was, but if you have Charter, it's probably up in the 100s range that was doing a rerun of it. So I did watch the second half, but I did not see this first half, so I've been collecting notes from everybody. And I had about 3 or 4 people that sent me notes and info about the game. So let's kind of get into that. The first quarter, Christian McCaffrey had that touchdown. Very impressive. Shaq Thompson with the interception. I've been pointing out Shaq Thompson a lot lately. He's been stepping it up this week and this past 2 weeks. And I'm very impressed with him. He also caught it one-handed, I might add. That's what I was told. I didn't see the highlight of it, but nice job, Shaq. So, let's get into... let's see. Nothing exciting cam-wise in the first quarter. The second... Let's do the second quarter. Defensively, we had horrible coverage. And that's not any different from the Dolphins game that I saw this past weekend. And I'm not thrilled with that. The second, third, and fourth string corners, linebackers, and safeties are beating you guys out. And we need to address this. That's an issue. I was told that they had trouble getting on the same page. And there's a lot of missed tackles. And I can confirm that in the second half because I saw a lot of missed tackles. Just a ridiculous amount of missed tackles. I thought that was the worst highlight I saw of the entire second half was the missed tackles. But, so I can confirm that. The offense went back to it, and there was a terrible drive that led to a sack. What I would have liked to know is who actually missed that block and led to that sack. That way I can point that name out. But I would bet it's probably Matt Khalil. I don't know if he would still be in at that point, but I'm going to assume he was. Because he had trouble during the Dolphins game as well. So let's continue. Apparently, Norris looked good. Number 52. I'm not exactly sure what he did. Like I said, I did not see the entire first half, but apparently he did well, and it was worth pointing out. Buffalo just ran right through our linebackers. He ran right through our secondary. It was kind of disgusting. That's what I was told by about 3 or 4 different people. And I'm not thrilled about that. They look unprofessional. They're not sure. They weren't sure what they were doing. They were out of cohesion. So, uh, and I mean, that's no different from the first half of the Dolphins game. Again, this is a repeat. And I'm not thrilled about that. Um, Poor coverage on the receivers continued. Um, at that point, Buffalo got a touchdown. I think Ray McCloud was one of those that got a touchdown because, if I'm not mistaken, Gunter was on him. It could have been Gunter, or it could have been forget who it was that I mentioned before. But I'm just gonna say it was Gunter for right now. But if you see the replay of it, let me know if I'm wrong about that. Uh, Curtis Samuel did well. Gilbert did well. Let's see. Ian Thomas looked good again. I've been pointing him out a lot too. He's my number 2 tight end as far as I'm concerned. He hasn't officially won the job, but I can see it happening in the near future. Samuel had good catches. He had good hands. He looked good in training camp as well as on the field. So that one doesn't surprise me. So we're getting into the second half. Here's where I started watching, and I started having an issue with what I saw. Gunter injured his shoulder. He left the field at that point, but it wasn't serious. If anybody wants to tell me about that, please do in the comments below, because I don't remember that happening. I don't remember seeing that, so please inform me on that. But he apparently looked better and got back on the field at some point, so I'm going to assume he's alright. CJ Anderson looked good. He caught a nice pass by Gilbert. The O-line started struggling at that point, and I noticed that due to the pass rush. The Bills had a massive pass rush. They blitzed a lot, which is not unusual for their head coach that used to be our defensive coordinator to do. So I'm really not surprised at that. They kind of copied what we do in Carolina and used that in Buffalo as a formula. And it worked for them last year. You saw the results, it worked for them. Now they need to find an offense. So if they could find the right players and start getting something clicking, Buffalo could be really dangerous. But not dangerous enough to get past the elite, of course. CJ had some great rushes. I can confirm that. He looked really good. Frazier had an excellent catch that went for a touchdown. I do remember that one. That looked really good. Let's see. Heineke actually really impressed me in that second half. And I'll tell you why. He was hitting his passes. He was actually converting first downs. He was moving the sticks. Great mechanics, great arm, great footwork. And it was surprising to me because I was not expecting to see that from him. It's been a wild and Wiley training camp. So while he was not making the best decisions during training camp, he actually looked good in the second half of this Bills game. Samuel had another great catch and a great juke. That juke the guy right out of his shoes. DJ Moore, nice play. That was a holding penalty. I know you guys remember that. On number 16, which I don't have the sheet with me. Hold on just a second. Let's see. 16 is Rashad Bailey. Rasheed Bailey, or however you pronounce his name. I still haven't gotten it correct yet. Probably. I've been trying to pronounce it for at least a month now. But, yeah, holding call on him. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he did have some kind of penalty during the Dolphins game, too. Correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong about that, but I seem to remember something happening with him in that game, too. So, C.J. Anderson with a touchdown after DJ Moore. Good run after the catch. The defense tightened up nicely at that point. I can confirm that. Heineke hit Hood for a really nice 35-yard touchdown pass. That was really smooth, and Hood just looked confident out there. I was really impressed by him. He's one of those names I haven't called out yet, so keep an eye on him during the pass game, and let's see what happens with him. Very nice defensive pressure. And again, DJ Moore with an outstanding play. You know. So then Kyle Allen came in, and here's the guy I want to see more of. He has not gotten enough snaps, and he only got two drives. 2 drives, and he did absolutely nothing. So, because it was inside the last 4 minutes. I mean, you got to give him more of a leash than that. Let him do something. Let him show you something. So, now here's where I have an issue. Our defense buckled and gave Buffalo a touchdown. Buffalo went for 2, and Cole Luke got the sack. Cole Luke was the guy that surprised me during that fourth quarter. He's my player of the game in those last 2 minutes. There's always that one player during the last 2 minutes that catches your attention, and he was it for that game. And, of course, the onside kick, which doesn't really interest anybody. But, overall, quarterbacks, B+, running backs, A-, wide receivers, B+, O-line, let's call it a B- for now. D-line, B+, defensive ends, B from what I was able to see. Corners, I'll rate it a C plus. We still have some work to do. Safety and free safety, uh, C plus as well. As I've said, we've got a lot of work to do. We still got 2 weeks to go. New England Patriots are going to come in and test us, and we're going to find out exactly who's weak in what position, because they will expose everything when they come in. They always do. So expect some craziness, expect some bad plays, and it will have a bearing on the grading. I'm gonna I'm gonna be generous with the grading, but I'm also gonna be strict as well. So be aware on that, because it's New England. I do give generously at least a half of a grade for New England. So, but if you really screw up on a play, I'm gonna take it out on that player, and I'm gonna let him have it. So, uh, I guess that is it. If there's anybody that really caught your attention, please do leave his name in the comments below uh, and why. And I will see you guys later on in the week for the Panthers and Patriots game in Charlotte. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. Keep pounding.